Hi, my name is Jason and this is Technique of the Week. Have you ever had a pour like this sidewalk that we have here today that's super long? It's like 140 feet. It's gonna take close to 8 yards of concrete that you wanna slow down, because if we try to stamp and pour this all at one time, like we're gonna do, and we just pour it with the normal mud, what's gonna happen is we're gonna have a tough time getting an impression on the whole thing. So today's tip is how to slow it down in stages. That'll help us to get even impression the whole way through. We're gonna start pouring right up here against this dock and kind of work our way out on the sidewalk. Now, if we were to get retarder from the actual plant and they were to put the retarder in at the actual concrete plant, that's not really helping us out on this pour, because that concrete's all gonna set. It's gonna set slower, but it's all gonna still set at the same time. So that doesn't really help us on something that's real long. Now, if you were doing a pour where you had a long stretch, or you had to buggy it or whatever the whole way from the street or whatever, then maybe you put retarder in the whole truck because you need extra time in getting the concrete down. But for this, we want the concrete to set at different stages. So what I'm gonna do today is measure out where I think 3 yards is gonna get us. This is a 4-foot wide sidewalk, so every 20 feet is gonna be basically a yard. So right now I'm just gonna measure out 60 feet, okay? And then I'm gonna paint a line on there exactly where that's at, and that's where we're gonna put our delay in the truck. Right here is where the 60 feet comes out to. So I know that I'm getting 8 yards. I'm gonna dump out 3 yards, okay? And this is a very important part of this whole equation, is I have to know kind of how much is in the truck, otherwise it's gonna be off, okay? If I put 4 bags in 5 yards, it's not gonna do what I want it to. So I gotta make sure, that's why I'm measuring this, to make sure that I know for sure where 3 yards is gonna get us. Okay, so that's 3 yards is gonna get us to here, roughly. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a mark so all my guys know that when we get to this point, you stop and we're gonna add these things. Each bag will delay 1 yard for 1 hour. So that's why I'm saying I'm gonna pour out 3 and then put 5 of these in, because I want the last 5 yards to set up an hour different than the first 3 yards. What we'll do is take this to here, put these 5 bags in, then I'll probably go another 3 yards, and then I'll add 1 more bag toward the end, and that'll even get that last little bit even setting a little bit slower. I've marked another 40 feet here. Okay, so that's gonna add, that's another 2 yards. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it here. When I get to this point, I only need to add 1 more bag and maybe a gallon or 2 of water. That way we have this thing, it's gonna be setting in 3 different intervals. And it's just gonna make this whole thing a lot easier. If this was all setting at the same time, it would be almost impossible to start stamping down there and get even impression the whole way. These outer bags, you just rip these open. Make sure that these bags get taken off, and make sure the truck driver knows, or that one of your guys is putting these in. Funny story, I told the driver one time to add 5 of these bags. He had done this before lots of times. So I was straight edging and pouring, and here come, I straight edged over one of these bags, the whole bag. So I had to take them back out, pull them out of the concrete and put them back in the truck. So make sure that the drivers know. The outer bag comes off, and then we have a water-soluble inner bag. Okay, these will break down real easy in the truck. And if your mini delay is fresh, okay, like this one is, I just got this one off the shelf this morning, so it's very fluid and there's no chunks in it, okay? Now, if these things set in your trailer or set in your shop for more than a year, like this other one I'm gonna open up, you have to dilute them in water first. This one here has chunks in it. If I was to throw this one, and you can feel them in here, I can feel them. Well, you can see it, that's perfect. See, they're falling out there. These will not break down. We have had so many contractors, just try to throw these in the truck, and these will not break down. And then after they come back the next day and pressure wash, one of these little chunks gets in the top of the concrete, it'll just blow right out. You'll have a huge hole. And if you do have them like this, they still work. You just have to dump them in water like this, and then take a drill mixer and mix it up till you don't have the chunks anymore. And then dump the whole water and everything in the truck. I know the truck's gonna be coming here in a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of set it over close to where it's gonna be, and that way, when we get to that last yard, this is one bag, I wanna put this in the truck at that point. Each time that we put these mini delays in, it's gonna increase at one slump too. So if I'm pouring at a 4, it's gonna end up being a 5, and that's without adding any water to it. So it actually wettens the concrete up a little bit also. All right, we're to our mark that we made there. We're gonna go ahead and put 5 bags. I got 5 bags, remember. We're gonna take the outer bags off and throw the inner bags in. It's also important with this that he mixes for 5 minutes. I always make the drivers actually look at their watch, mix it on high for 5 minutes. That way we make sure these get mixed in good. We're gonna add these 5 bags and water. Okay, give it a shot of water, like 2 gallons. Then just look for 5 minutes. The last buggy that he dumped got us right to our orange line that we painted earlier, so we know that we're good. I know I got 5 yards left from the truck. He's mixing up right now. So now that one that was really chunky, I took that up there. I got my water mixed up with it. I'm just gonna dump that in the truck now. Why don't you run it back a little bit? More. More. All right, mix it up for another 2 or 3 minutes now. So we're about to this part where we added the mini delays, right here where our line is. So I'm gonna go ahead and touch it over here for you with my fingers. I'm giving a little pressure. You can see it's not pushing in very far. I'm gonna go over here where it's a little bit, where that mini delay was, and you can see it's a lot looser over here, a lot more pliable. We're gonna be able to stamp this a lot easier. Here we are at our next spot where we put that last bucket in there, and you can tell it's pretty soft here, back here. This last part was in the sun. As we're coming around here, the sun came out. It's starting to, but it's a lot softer and a lot more pliable than it was back here. So we've done this whole area. We're gonna get good impression on the whole thing, and it's all because of those mini delays and just thinking ahead. Hopefully this tip helps. If there's any way we can ever help you guys, we'd love an opportunity. Give one of our sales staff a call. You know, we're available to help with this industry. We love what we do. And thanks for joining us this week, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.